Tips from the ER. St. Patrick's Day. It's that time of year again. Get your leprechaun costumes and shamrock undies on. We're gonna go celebrate another holiday we don't fully understand by consuming copious amounts of green drinks, green food, and anything else green you can possibly get your filthy little hands on. Not the plant, Charles. That's for display purposes only. Here in the ER, we'd like to pointlessly remind you motherfuckers to drink responsibly. St. Patty's is the type of holiday where you start slamming Irish car bombs the minute you wake up. So we're gonna be ready from sunrise to sundown with vomit bags aplenty to catch all that green gooey goodness your bitch-ass tummy couldn't handle. You'll likely be drinking outside, so remember to layer up. Contrary to popular belief, consuming alcohol actually lowers your body temperature, so you freeze quicker. But it doesn't matter what I say here. You will no doubt find a way to end up in the ER. So we'll be here, sipping whiskeys and stouts waiting for you. Slanche. Tips from the ER. Fingers. If you accidentally slice off a piece of your finger because you weren't paying attention to where the avocado was, make sure to bring that piece of finger with you to the emergency room. Hopefully it's big enough so we can sew it back together, because if it's too small, there won't be enough meat and space to sew. If you're gonna slice off a piece of your finger, make sure it's a nice big chunk. Giving us just the tip really isn't worth our time, motherfuckers. If we can't get it back on, we're gonna have to sew that finger shut. Whatever bone is sticking out of your hand will likely be useless and in the way. So we're gonna take some pliers and break it off. Then we're gonna take the two skin ends of your fingers, push them together, and sew it back better than a Chinese kid in a Nike factory. As for the piece that came off, you can either take it with you, throw it away, or give it to me and I'll add it to my home collection. Tips from the ER. Low blood pressure. There are many reasons why your blood pressure might be running a little low. Either you just stood up too fast, you're super dehydrated, or your body's leaking somewhere. Something we can do in the ER is to inject you with a bag of saline. A low blood pressure could mean you don't have enough liquid in your pipes. You don't necessarily need more blood, you just need more volume. Or you're gonna start feeling pretty shitty. Worst case scenario, your body starts to panic and goes into shock. That's a full system failure that we do not want, motherfuckers. That's where the saline comes in, because even diluted blood is better than no blood. If your blood pressure goes dangerously low, we have what's called pressure bags that we could put on the bag of saline because it's ugly and we don't want to see its face. I'm just kidding. That pressure bag will anaconda squeeze the shit out of that bag of saline to shoot fluid into your body super quick so you don't have to die. Tips from the ER. Saline. It has come to my attention that some of you motherfuckers have no idea what the fuck saline is, so I'm gonna break it down for you. Saline is one of the most common household items in the hospital, right next to gloves, needles, and my will to live. I've about had it with all of you. But saline is just water with a little bit of salt, usually just 0.9%. That's right, motherfuckers, less than 1% of that bitch is salt. The rest is just water. Here in the ER, we use saline to clean out your wounds. It doesn't sting or burn because it's just water with a little bit of salt. Saline can also be used to hydrate you, but through a vein using an IV. It doesn't go into your stomach. Please do not drink salt water. If you're out and about with your friends and you is a thirsty bitch, regular water would do just fine. Tips from the ER. Banana bags. Banana bags are used for patients who can't get their nutrients the old-fashioned way, by chomping on some salad or swallowing some nuts. It's basically a bag of saline, but with vitamins and minerals. But why is it called a banana bag? Is it because you have to peel it to get to the good stuff? No, it's because it looks bright-ass yellow. That's right, motherfuckers. Adding vitamins to a liquid can turn it neon yellow. Why do you think your urine looks neon yellow after you drink a multivitamin? It's because your body can rarely absorb an entire multivitamin, so it comes out in your urine, making your piss look bright as a banana. Banana bags are also great for hangovers. Nothing like a radioactive looking pouch of piss to replenish your body from all the poisonous liquor you consumed. Trying to convince yourself having kids was a good idea. Tips from the ER. Irrigation. If you come into the ER with an open flesh wound, the first thing we have to fucking do is clean ya. You likely injured yourself from something gross or dirty, so there's no telling what's inside of you. Dirt, rocks, bugs, bacteria. We're gonna make sure it all comes out by irrigating your new body hole. Irrigation is the process of shooting high-pressured saline into your wound like a super soaker. The pressure from the saline pushes out anything gross crawling under your skin so that when we close you back up, you won't have any new friends to give you an infection. If the dirt inside your tissue is too deep, we have a special sponge with pointy bristles on it that we can use to scrub and rub your meat until it's squeaky clean. We may lose some of you to the bristles, but that's okay, motherfuckers. You'll grow back. Depending on how tough you are, you can get some numbing medication or just enjoy the burn. Come on, live a little. Tips from the ER. CT scans. A CT scan is an emergency room's best friend. They're usually located right next to, if not inside the ER, because when we need one, we need it faster than a hungry baby needs a titty. It's a quick way to let us know if you're bleeding out somewhere inside your body, usually because you've just had a stroke or you just got into a car accident looking at that Instagram model story instead of paying attention to the road. She was only drinking coffee, Dave. Was it worth it? A CT scan is basically 100 x-rays taken all at once. It's a lot more radiation, but if it'll save your life, that one step closer to cancer might just be worth it, motherfuckers. Before your CT scan, we have this liquid highlighter called contrast that we inject into your veins to glow up your body so we see every little bit of you, down to your cute little toes. The result is a 3D image of your body sliced up like a loaf of bread. We then get to pick out any slice, take a gander at it before we let you know whether you're gonna live or possibly die. Nice. Tips from the ER. Medications. When you check into the ER, one of the first things we have to do is go through your collection of pills currently helping you stay alive. Hopefully you remember them. It's very important that we know what medications you're on, motherfuckers, so we don't accidentally kill you. For example, if you're on Viagra because you can no longer get your little free willy to stay up long enough to use its blowhole, tell us! Nitroglycerin is a very common medication used to treat chest pains. Its one significant side effect is that it lowers your blood pressure. You want to know what other medication significantly lowers your blood pressure? Viagra. If you come to the ER with chest pains but you don't tell us you're on Viagra, there's a high chance we're going to get you some nitroglycerin, drop your blood pressure to 0, and kill you. That would be a shame since it seems like such an easy problem to avoid, right? Right. So next time you're in the ER, don't be shy. Help us out. Tell us about your willy. Tips from the ER. Trauma. If you ever get to see the inside of a trauma room, chances are you're pretty fucked up. We reserve that space for our most critical patients, which means you're likely closer to dying than anyone else in the ER. A trauma is a sudden physical injury that requires immediate medical attention. Maybe you crashed your bike, got a couple bullets in you, or you went flying out your car because you didn't have your seatbelt on, motherfuckers. I'm just kidding. Thank you for keeping us employed. Whatever the case may be, there will be a large team of medical professionals waiting on the edge of their seats to put you back together. There's going to be a lot going on. People are talking over each other. We're cutting your clothes off, getting an IV in one arm, blood pressure in the other, if it's still there, and then we're going to push, pull, flip you, and reverse you. Make sure you're not bleeding out from your back, your spine isn't broken, all while keeping your head and neck completely still. We're going to get you a CT scan, some x-rays, and then, most importantly, some warm blankets. Can't leave you cold and naked on that bed with your hoo-ha hanging out for all those people to see. You may not even be awake to care, but we care, motherfuckers. We love you. Tips from the ER. Full moons. Today is a beautiful day if you aren't a medical worker. You get to wake up in the morning, drink some coffee, and go about your Sunday watching March Madness with the boys, getting drunk brunch with the girls, or just relaxing on the couch with your family. If you are a medical worker, you're completely fucked. Today's a full moon, which means 10 times out of 10, it's gonna be busy all night long. We only get 12 of these a year, and each time it feels like Armageddon has entered the ER, and Bruce Willis ain't showing up to save us. It's gonna be busy as shit, so if you motherfuckers end up in the ER, be prepared to wait a long fucking time. I can't scientifically prove it, but you ask any ER worker and they'll tell you a full moon is not good for the ER. The waiting rooms will be full, ambulance patients will be lined up in the hallways, and some nurse named Tracy will undoubtedly call out sick again. We're on to you, Tracy. We don't know how you still work here, but we're on to you. For the rest of you medical staff brave enough to show up to work today, good luck and Godspeed.